Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Al-Wafi Islamic Boarding School online English video. In this video, you will learn to compare things using comparative adjectives and superlative adjectives. Let's get started. Do you have a phone? Have you ever compared your phone to your friends' phones? Which one is newer? Which one has the better camera? Which one is more expensive? Which one do you think is the best among them? Which one is the worst? To compare your phones, you will need to talk using comparative adjectives and superlative adjectives. Do you know what they are? Let's find out. Now, you will read a text as you listen to the recording. After you read, pause the video and find the meanings of words that you don't understand in the dictionary. I have 4 pet tortoises. I named them Donna, Raph, Mike, and Leo. Donna is the biggest among them. She is the only female in the group. She is bigger than her friends. She is also the heaviest. Raph is the second biggest of them all. He is actually older than Donna, but his body is smaller. Mike is the fastest when running. He can run faster than the other tortoises. Leo is the smallest and the most peaceful. When I put them to race to the food, he is always the slowest one. However, his shell is more beautiful than the other tortoises. It's more colorful and has more complex pattern than the rest of his friends. I love my tortoises. They are my best friends. Pay attention to the bold green and blue words. The blue ones are called comparative adjectives. The green ones are superlative adjectives. Do you understand what they mean? If you don't, pause the video now and look them up in the dictionary. Comparative adjectives are the adjectives that we use to compare things. Here are some examples as used in the text. Do you know what they mean? Now let's explore more of the comparative adjectives. The motorcycle is faster than the bicycle. The elephant is bigger than the rabbit. Sandy's bag is heavier than Buddy's bag. Doing homework is more important than playing video games. Faster, bigger, heavier, and more important are examples of comparative adjectives. Notice that all these comparative adjectives come from adjectives. Can you tell what they were before they were turned into comparative adjectives? Now, you may realize the pattern. Most of these words end with er. Fast becomes faster, big becomes bigger, heavy becomes heavier. But important doesn't become importanter. It becomes more important. Can you guess the rule behind this? Here's the explanation. When we have single-syllable words, we add er or r at the end of the words. If the word ends with e, just add r, like nicer and safer. Everything else, add er. Try to follow the pronunciation. Faster, cooler, kinder, taller, nicer, safer. My grandmother is kinder than my mother. My brother is taller than me. His house is nicer than mine. Can you think of more words like these? If you have words ending with one vowel and one consonant, double the last letter and add er at the end. Try to follow the pronunciation. Bigger, fatter, thinner, harder. My English textbook is thinner than my dictionary. The planet Venus is harder than Mercury. If the words end with y, remove the y and add ier at the end of the word. Follow the pronunciation. Heavier, happier, angrier. I am happier today than yesterday. Sometimes my mother is busier than my father. Can you come up with your own example? Now, If the words are more than one syllable, we add more before the word. Follow the pronunciation. More important, more expensive, more peaceful, more delicious, more careful. My shoes are more expensive than my shirt. I hurt myself when cycling yesterday. Today I must be more careful. There are exceptions of the rules. Don't worry, there are only 5 words. Good becomes better, bad becomes worse, far becomes farther, little becomes less, and many becomes more. It's better to fail than never try. She eats less food than usual because she is on a diet. Now you may realize that when comparing things, we usually use the word than. It more or less can be translated to Bahasa Indonesia as dari or daripada. Here is how you use the word than when comparing things. My laptop is slower than my desktop computer. You can pause the video and try to understand the pattern. If this feels difficult, don't worry. As you see more examples, you will start to understand it more. Superlative adjectives are like comparative adjectives. We also use them to compare things. But, unlike comparative adjectives, superlative adjectives are used only to tell the things in the highest order in the comparison. For example, the best, the fastest, or the most interesting. Here are some examples used in the text. Now, let's explore more of the superlative adjectives. The pattern of superlative adjectives are like that of comparative adjectives. If the words have one syllable, add est at the end. For example, fastest and smallest. If the words end with a vowel and a consonant like these, repeat the last letter, then add est at the end. For example, biggest and hardest. If the words end with y, remove the y, then add iest. For example, heaviest and happiest. If the words have more than one syllable, we add most before the word. For example, most important, most expensive, most peaceful, most delicious, and most careful. There are also exceptions to the rules, and the words are the same from before. Try to repeat the pronunciation. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Far, farther, farthest. Little, less, least. Many, more, most. Sometimes when you use superlative adjectives, you need to add the before the word. This is to signify that there is only one of a kind. Instead of saying best, say the best. For example, he is the best football player in the world. Instead of saying fastest, say the fastest. For example, Concorde is the fastest commercial airplane. Instead of saying most beautiful, say the most beautiful. For example, she is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. One common mistake that people make is using a before the superlative adjectives. For example, this is a most expensive handbag ever sold. It should be, this is the most expensive handbag ever sold. So, do you understand the explanation? Remember, you can always go back and watch the video again anytime. If you have trouble following the explanation, try turning on the subtitle. You can also read the PDF file and the digital posters provided by your teacher. In this section of the video, you will practice answering questions. You will need a notebook and a pencil or pen. If you need more time to answer the questions, feel free to pause or rewind the video. You can use dictionary to help you. Now, let's begin the exercise. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is D. Lions are faster than the tigers, but cheetahs are the fastest of them all. In bahasa Indonesia, singa lebih cepat dibanding macan, tapi cheetah adalah yang paling cepat di antara mereka semua. Question number 2. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is B. Arif is more diligent than his brothers. In bahasa Indonesia, Arif lebih rajin dibandingkan saudara-saudaranya. Question number 3. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is A. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain on Earth, but Olympus Mons on Mars is more than twice as tall. In bahasa Indonesia, Gunung Everest adalah yang tertinggi di bumi, tapi Olympus Mons di Mars tingginya 2 kali lipat lebih dari itu. Question number 4. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is A. My sister's dress is more expensive than my phone. In bahasa Indonesia, gaun saudara perempuan saya lebih mahal dibanding ponsel saya. Question number 5. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is C. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. In bahasa Indonesia, Jupiter adalah planet paling besar di tata surya. Question number 6. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is D. Chromium is the densest material on the list. In bahasa Indonesia, chromium adalah material paling padat di daftar ini. Question number 7. Pause the video and continue after you answer the question. The correct answer is A. Alif is the tallest of the group. In bahasa Indonesia, Alif adalah yang paling tinggi di grup tersebut. So, did you get everything correct? Did you pause the video and answer the questions before continue watching? Did you use dictionary to help you? Did you turn on the subtitle? If you answered wrong, don't worry. This is not a test. The purpose of this exercise is to help you learn. Feel free to watch the video again to understand the lesson better. If you still have questions, discuss them with your teacher and your friends. They will be happy to help you. Now you have watched the video, it is time for you to get scores from your teacher. After watching this video, you must complete 3 things: online quiz, assignment, and questionnaire. The links can be found in your Google Classroom. For more information, ask your teacher. Good luck and see you in other videos. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.